afternoon. This is page 2. In the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha most excellent. Take refuge unto enlightenment is reached by the merit of Janarasta and other good deeds. May I attain Buddhahood for the sake of our sentient beings. In the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha most excellent. Take refuge unto enlightenment is reached by the merit of Janarasta and other good deeds. May I attain Buddhahood for the sake of our sentient beings. Sanje Jidan Zojun Jonam Lo. Sanjo Barda Dane Jobsunje Dake Jinso Jipe Sonamji Drola Pensar Sanje Droparasho. May all Mother Sentient beings, boundless as the sky, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be liberated from suffering in the causes of suffering. May they never be separate from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. May all Mother Sentient beings, boundless as the sky, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be liberated from suffering in the causes of suffering. May they never be separate from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. Manam Kadan Yambe Simjin Damje Dewadan Deve Jodan Dembara Jorje. Dongaradan, Dongaraje, Jadan, Javara George, Dongara Mebe, Dewadam, Java George, Nyerain Chadan, Yedang, Darve, Danyon, Zeme Bala, Nepara George. I beseech the Girevardya Dara, Telopa, Naropa, Marpa, Malarepa, Gambopa, Pamotoba, Lodi, Jiktin Songo. At the feet of Guru, who possess the three ways of kindness, and all the Guru and the spiritual master of the lineage, the Yadams and the Dharma protectors, may your marvelous blessings permeate my mind. Tibetan, Dorje Jawain de lo Narotang, Marmada Bo Padrin Jidingo. Gadin Somden Zave Lamesha Saje Lama Yadan Chisong La Sorwan de So Daju Sinji Lo. Page 7. Whatever merit I have gathered through prostrations, offerings, confessing, rejoicing, requesting, and praying for the sake of the enlightenment of all sentient beings, all these are dedicated. Sanser Wadan Jojen Shabadan Jisa Yaran Gorjen Sorwai Gewai Junze Dage Jesaba Tam Jezobe Sanjo Zernovo On A O R Lele On A Kaka Gagana Zaza Sajanya Da 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 na ba 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 ma yara la va jaza jazo ye dharma he ta ba va he din de tadanga he yo va de ginta yo nero evam bode mahasharma na ye so. Sometimes chant this 3 times, so we do today once. Om Benza Sato Samaya Mani Palaya Benza Sato Tinopa Tichandro Me Bawa So De Kayo Me Bawa So Be Kayo Me Bawa Anirado Me Bawa Sarvai Side Minjaya Sarva karma isai me siddhan shayan kuro ha ha ho bangave sarva dadan gadan benzara mame benzara ba ma samaya sadoa. Om Sambara Sambara Bimana Masa Sara Mahan Zambahom Om Mara Mara Bimara Kara Mahan Zavahom Pek Om Sambara Sambara Mahan Zamba Hong Pei. Om Ritzi Ramane Travartaya Hong Pei. Om Shi Bemane De Shore Hong. Om Ah Hong. Om Ah Hong. Om Ah Hong. So now we go to page 13. Guru, please think over me. Guru, please think over me. Lama no. Essence of the Buddhas of the three times, source of the holy Dharma of scripture and experience, master of the Sangha. The noble exemplary Guru, please think of me. Great treasure of blessing and the compassion, source of the true attainments. Bestower of whatever enlightening activity is desire. Guru, please think of me. Tibetan. Tisom sanje jengo longdo damje jenjong ne pazo genden jeng abda sawe lama jeno sin la tuje ye derchin Ngondro nam ni jenjong ne Chen le jun du gen zon ze, za we la ma je no. Page 14. Kandaru Guru, please think of me, Lord, upping me from above my crown, the bars of greatness, let me see my own awareness, the true face of our Dharmakaya, and attain awakening in one life. Tenjin zawe lama injeno, jezo de jene ne zeye, rang rei ji ge rang yan yan ne, se je san je zhe ban zu je. Then we go to page 15. The 14, the bottom of that is a long calling the Guru. Whole thing, sadhana is really long. We don't have this one here. And we don't have to go to that long one. That's short we did this, just did the short from that same prayer. Now page 15. All mother sentient beings, limitless as space, especially those enemies who hate me, obstructors who harm me, and those create obstacles on my path to liberation and knowingness. May the experience of happiness be free from suffering, and save the way I establish them in the state of unsurpassed, perfect, complete, precious enlightenment. Dalai don't worry, see better, nobody see big. Torba dam dam je jembe barde ju bara se ba dam je so se be mananga dan yambe senje dan je dewa dan de no ngara dan ra nyor de lana me yanda bara zo be san jo rumbo je do bara sa. Page 16. Thus, under achieving enlightenment, I will perform virtuous deeds with the body, speech, and mind. Until death, I will perform virtuous deeds with the body, speech, and mind. From now until this time tomorrow, I will perform virtuous deeds with the body, speech, and mind. Now go to page 17. The Ngondro is starting from here. Other is always opening prayer. Preparation. So now we have two preliminary practice. So first one is a basic preliminary practice, and then second is a uncommon preliminary practice. So this 4 thoughts meditations, basic preliminary practice. Before we go into the uncommon preliminary practice. So we have to practice these 4 thoughts. When you practice uncommon preliminary practice, actually this is become 4 thoughts meditation is preliminary practice. Uncommon practices become mean practice. So it's everything is dependent, So this uncommon, the basic preliminary practice is followed by 4 different levels. So precious human body, impermanent meditation, defect of samsara, cause and effect. First, precious human body. Know that I have found a precious human body with freedom and connection, which will be difficult to find again. I must practice to attain the state of unsurpassed enlightenment for the benefit of all others. So this, the precious human body actually with together is Bodhichitta practice. So that's we can see here, create together. We have this precious human body, then we have to apply our Bodhichitta, precious human body. Then second is impermanent. On seeing that the hostile Lord of Death may stake in my precious life at any time, I shall consider the impermanence of others and myself. So then this cultivate impermanent meditation. We don't know when we die, so it's use this practice cultivating, then really helps detachment become, your mind is not fixation too much, everything, object. So that helps mind is liberation. So you chant this prayer, we can see very clearly our life is all impermanent because war, disease, it's all the human beings create the negativity and the causes harming each other, and then element affected so many causes of death. So we can see clearly this is the every beings is we don't know when it's happening. Then go to next page 18 and 19 is defect of samsara. Wherever in samsara one is born, true well-being cannot be found. I shall therefore turn away from worldly pleasure and enter the path of nirvana. So this cultivate defect of samsara. So we recognize, doesn't matter where we are reborn. No one has a permanent happiness. Everything is changing, impermanent. It's temporary happiness. It's going to lost easily. So that's why in samsara, no one has the true happiness. Defect of samsara meditation. Usually people think, where we was born, maybe not there have true happiness. We get another country that has true and good happiness, but it's actually the same. Doesn't matter wherever we go. It's the same situation. Then next one is page 20 is cultivate again. This again means we cultivating, meditating is a cause and effect to make this life of freedom and the connection meaningful. I shall abstain from all messages resulting from a mind afflicted by the 3 poisons. I shall diligently strive in cultivating virtue and shall protect my vows and my samaya of the 3 doors. So recognize the precious human body is very hard to get. And due to that, we have to, right now we have precious human body. This is useful, benefit for us, useful correctly. So we create the abandon non-virtuous, create virtuous deeds. That's the causes of happiness when we die. Create non-virtuous deeds. That's causes of suffering. So point we have right now precious human body. We don't wasting ourselves this life. Put effort for the cultivate virtuous deeds and the Dharma. So that's the four thoughts meditation is generally same as all the Ngondro sadhana. We often have to cultivate that four thoughts meditation. So then next is go into uncommon preliminary practice. Actually, this is the main practice become. So you see the refuge tree and Buddha Vajradhara is in center. Then Vajrasattva is in front, Charab Sambara is in front, then Mahakala Achi, or these retinues. So right side are the Buddhas, left side the Bodhisattvas, and top part is all the lineage gurus, included everything, visualized. So that's the visualization. We're going to chant this together. Page 25. Before you appearing in the form of Vajradhara, the Lord who provides all Buddha's families. The Guru is a secret upping a cushion of lotus and the moon, a precious throne in the center of which granting tree that emerged from a lake is surrounded by the ocean like example of Kaju masters. In front is the Bangavan, Chakrasambhara, together with the house of Yadam, deities of the 4 or 6 classes of Tantras. To his right are the Buddha of the 3 tongues, adorned with the major and the minor marks, together with the 1,000 Buddhas of this excellent eon. Behind is the great mother Panchaparimita and the discourses of the Sutra and the Tantras, which naturally resumed the Dharma. To his left are the Bodhisattva protectors of the 3 families, surrounded by the example of the 3 vehicles, nobles, Sangha, surrounding everything is on organic house of earth, bound protectors, gathering like blowing clouds. So we visualize that's in front of us. Then we do the refuge prayer. Namo, until I attain enlightenment, I take refuge in the empty essence, which is the Dharmakaya, the Guru and the Buddha. I take refuge in the clear nature, which is the Sambhonakaya, the Yadam and the Dharma. I take refuge in all pervasive compassion, which is the Nirmanakaya, the Dakini and other Sangha. So when you chant this and then prostration together. So this is the refuge prayer. We have to accumulate chanting. Then I already explained the meaning last week. So when we chant this, deeply immersing your mind in the practice, offer prostration while reciting refuge prayer. So this go together. Then when you finish, grant your blessing to that, the minds of myself and all sentient beings. Limitless as space. Follow Dharma. Grant your blessing so that the Dharma leads to the path. Grant your blessing so that the path may clear away confusion. Grant your blessing so that confusion may transform into wisdom. As the 4th Dharma of Gambopa teaching. Chant that, and then you finish it there. You know, refuge, prostration, and you go back to post-meditation evening. So you finish it, then you can continue to all the prayer going to finish also possible, or you go directly jump to the end of the dedication section. So I think either way is okay. So now it's a Vajrasattva prayer. Vajrasattva, page 30. On the crown of my head, upping a seat of lotus and moon, appears a white home, the brilliant light emanating from it. Place the Buddhas and the Bodhisattvas of the 10 directions. Gather the knowledge, love, and the power, and dissolve back into the home. Once again, light emanates to the abode of the 6 class of beings, purify their impure karmic perceptions, self-grasping, and habitual tendencies, and gather back into the home. The home then transforms into the Guru, who embodies all Buddha's families in the form of Vajrasattva, color and white, and adorned with the ornaments of Sambhogakaya. In his right hand, holding a Vajra of awareness, emptiness at heart, level, and his left a bear of appearance, emptiness at his hip. His legs are crossed in half Vajra posture, and he abides within a circular rainbow sphere. So that's the way we visualize Vajrasattva when we practice Vajrasattva. Oh glorious Vajrasattva, please purify and cleanse the ignorance, self-grasping, and habitual tendencies of myself and all infinite sentient beings. Having supplicated thus a stream of Bodhichitta, nectar emerged from the syllable and the mantra garland at Vajrasattva's heart. The nectar falls up his entire body, enter the Dharma opening at my crown, and cleanse all negativity and obscurations. So visualize Vajrasattva is dissolving, nectar falling into our crown and purify karma. Visualize, and then chant this mantra. We have to create accumulation. So this is 100,000 times. Om benza sato samaya manupalaya benza sato tinopa titandro me bava zutikayo me bava sopikayo me bava anerado me bava sarvas mindrayanza sarva karma sesame tseda shiryankar hong ha 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 ho bangaven sarvata dangada benza mamim benzarba maha samaya sato a. When you chant accumulate this mantra, then you have to chant very fast, much more fast. Om benza sato samaya manabalaya benza sato tinopa me bava zutikayo me bava sopikayo me bava anerado me bava sarvata mindrayanza sarva karma sesame tseda shiryankar ho bangaven sarvata dangada benza so you have to chant fast, otherwise it takes years to finish. If you really follow them step by step, it's create accumulation, Mary chanting. Then next is page 34. And when you finish this mantra, then end of the day, so you go continue this chanting. Lost in mental darkness, I have breaking and corrupted my samaya. Guru, protector, grant me refuge. Chief Vajra holder, embodiment of great compassion, Lord of all beings, I go for refuge to you. So then next is to this supplication, Vajrasattva responds. Fortunate child, all your negativity, obscurations, faults, and downfalls are now purified. Having absorbed me in this way, Vajrasattva dissolve into me, merging indivisibly. So visualize that Vajrasattva has become dissolved to us, purify all our negative karma. So the Vajrasattva, practice, create accumulation, marries, all the lineage is the same, because everyone has the same Vajrasattva practice. This refuge tree is going to change. So we do the beginning, the refuge and the post-station together. We visualize this refuge tree, and then coming back again, refuge tree during this, mandala offering. So now today, I think we are in the mandala, right? Then we finish the refuge, and we finish Vajrasattva teaching. So today, I think we are in the mandala. Third, so this is the third. Why is it called third? Refuge, post station together, and then Vajrasattva is second, so this mandala is third. Sometimes we count different ways. Refuge, post station, Vajrasattva is 3, so mandala is 4. And some lineages, in Tibet have different lineages. Some lineages, Ngondro is a refuge, post station, Vajrasattva, then this mandala, this 4 of this core Ngondro practice. Then this Drigong Kagyu tradition has Guru Yoga extra there. So usually many lineage only does this 4 of them. And when they finish it, they say, we finish the Ngondro practice. So now here is the mandala offering is the method for gathering the accumulations. So this is the one of the method we create our own accumulation merit. Some, people even, don't have the things to offering and giving generosity to others. So then they think I cannot do that much, create accumulation merit. But actually who does this mandala offering is more powerful than actually, doing some generosity and offerings. So physically, I mean, because this is mentally doing is more powerful. So we recognize that all this practice is followed by mind, meditate. So we can meditate love and compassion. So love or compassion, someone meditating love and compassion, someone does the actions, love and compassion for others. So then result is different. Result is different is who meditate, then their person is can be Bodhisattva because it's all the time love, compassion for economically every beings. There has inner qualities arising in the mind. So someone do generosity and charities like, generosity and create some activity doing, helping for others. That also is a great, very special virtuous deeds. But comparing for your meditation practice is so meditation practice more powerful. We can see that the result is easily. That's why these meditator practitioners not jump into the situations, right? They use that energy, cultivate love and compassion. So they use that and achieve the Bodhisattva level and enlightened beings. Then of course they're ready to do some actions. Is like in there, every congregation come there that does that. But more focus is all the time for meditate and mind generate, change the intentions. So that's the way we see all these masters, realizers, history. They use that negative energy is used for the meditation practice. So that's why when in this samsara has more negativity, the practitioner meditators use that negativity and create more love and compassion practice. More mind is generated and create more strong practitioner. So this, practitioner meditators not jump into the situations. if they are in the situation, every condition is there, of course they do whatever they can do. They never avoid selfishly. But the point is our case meditator means we don't have to jump in the situation. Like example, where is the war? We don't have to go there to do something, but your meditate mind generate compassion, love. So they create, the love create compassion has become strong and strong. It's used that energy become our compassions become growing very strong. So that's the method. Same in this mandala offering. Also, if we have the conviction, everything have to giving generosity to someone, of course the bodhisattvas and the practitioners does much ever they can help for others. But this one is for create accumulation merit is for our, mentality using energy, and the practice is more powerful than you doing like physically things. So that's why many these realizers knows how to create accumulation merit. So then they use this practice, create accumulation merit. The create accumulation merit is then your activities become more powerful. Dharma activity is more powerful and more benefit. So same is like who create more non-virtuous deeds, and that person does non-virtuous is more powerful, more strong, more harmful others too. So who has more positive accumulation merit, that does something, that has more power, more benefit for others. That's we can see clearly. This special, like realizer, spiritual master, that does something is more benefit. Then ordinary some people, their practice, even their, they recognize their true nature, realize, but benefit is very small, tiny benefit for others. So, same is also someone didn't have that strong non-virtuous deeds, strong negative deeds, not that strong. There does some non-virtuous deeds. It's also not that harmful much others, like less power. So there's a, spiritual power, positive spiritual power, negative samsara power is same. Who has a strong, very strong negative karma, that does something is strongly affected for other beings. So many beings can hurt. So we look to think about this. Many practitioners and spiritual beings in this world, some can benefit a lot for other beings because they're due to their accumulation merit. Some has realized, but they don't benefit much. Some has really good knowledge for Dharma, and they don't benefit much. Some don't have that strong knowledge, but their lots benefit others. This all is due to the accumulation merit. Then due to the accumulation merit, when we see it's the same parents, kids, when was the born is very similar, but go up to growing, and then the personality and the person's ability and the whole benefit for others or harming for others is become totally different. Some is become very powerful, some is not much power. That all, we don't see our eye why happening these things, because it's due to behind this accumulation merit. Accumulation merit, then negative accumulate or positive accumulate. So depending, right? Otherwise, must be all these human beings must be same power, same energy. Why not same? It's behind this evolve this accumulation merit. Some going to practice Dharma is never ever going to be successful. All the time has obstacles. Some is just naturally, your minds go into the spiritual, and whatever you does spiritual things, or condition is happening there. So that is also due to the karma. It's accumulation merit. Who don't have enough accumulation merit, they wanted to practice Dharma, then all the time something going on. The negative karma all the time stop them. So negative samsara condition always run over. You never ever get into the positive spiritual connections. Even spiritual connection is there, you never ever recognize. So no any connections. Some who has accumulation merit, the spiritual connection comes, the right way recognize. So powerful connections. That's also due to the accumulation merit. When Buddha Shakyamuni, was in India at that time, who has connections, who has accumulation merit, when they see the Buddha, naturally follow him. Who don't have connections, who don't have accumulation merit, they're seeing him, he is just beggar, nothing important, they don't see anything qualities, something special. So the same, in when I was growing in Tibet, also people who has accumulation merit, they see the teachers, gurus, the right have strong connections. Some didn't have any connections, even same parents, even twins, maybe twins, they're one has very strong connections, one is not any connections spiritual. That means also due to this accumulation merit. One didn't have accumulation merit, even the born together, same parents can be twin, the karma they has, but other part karma is not same. So we think, oh, they are same karma because born together. Yeah. But then grow up, they all is different lifestyle, because it's due to the karma and due to the accumulation merit. So now we have this spiritual connection is also due to our accumulation merit, previous life. So then future, how much benefit for other beings, that is up to our own, this accumulation merit. So we create accumulation merit more strong, and then more benefit others. That's why this spiritual teacher high realizes, never stop practice. They are okay already. They don't have a fear for samsara. They don't have a hope for nirvana. Why they not stop all the time practice? So because they does all these practices benefiting more other beings. Yeah, so that's due to the accumulation merit. We recognize very clearly. And then accumulation merit is negative accumulation, positive. So we have these two. Negative also who has strong, we already are told, strong negative, they harm more beings. So we can see also, no, it's war, it's come from actually one of dictator kind of. So there's also negative conditions so strong. So that's why it can harm so many beings, so many people, and every many beings. That's the all the time happening. Never stop. Samsara is alive. This kind of beings never end. Also spiritual power also never end. Always there, positive and negative both. So who don't have positive conditions, then you stuck with this negative, demons together. Because that's why all this army stuck with this negative demons together. It's also not enough accumulation merit. That's why they're stuck there. And who has accumulation merit there? Even they're born same countries, same situation, but never stuck that situation. It's go follow the positive conditions. So that's always due to the accumulation merit. That is beyond our actually thoughts. We don't see and we don't recognize, but if you really think about, you understand. We can see clearly what happened every being's this situation is followed by due to this accumulation merit. Then here is the accumulation merit is, as Sutra says, this is a teaching is come from Buddha. So as long as one has not truly perfect the true accumulations, one will not realize true emptiness. This one is talking about the true accumulation merit. True accumulation merit is easy to say, is like you understand, is 6 parameter. 6 parameter is true accumulation merit. The generosity, morality, patience is accumulation merit. Then meditation, wisdom is accumulation with wisdom. So this is wisdom. Other first 3 is method. Last 2 is wisdom, and the joyful effort is both. So true accumulation merit means actually these 6 perfections. Then all these practices must be subsumed into this true accumulation merit. So if long as we don't have a true accumulation merit, we don't create that, not possible to realize true emptiness, not possible to recognize our own nature mind. So no, think about it. The example I sharing this, many Mahamudra Dzogchen teachings. We are be together. So this we create accumulation merit. That's why we have this all opportunity conditions together. We don't recognize that, but actually, if we don't create accumulation merit, it's not possible to. You can join the teaching, I can share the teaching together. That's also due to the accumulation merit. The accumulation merit, maybe you think I didn't do anything this life, but we reborn in samsara, it's countless lifetimes. We have already connections, create this accumulation merit. So due to that, we have this, conditions, discussion, practice together, Dharma. But then due to this accumulation merit, we, be in our nature mind, meditate. So recognize our own nature. So that's also always up to the accumulation merit. So we think we don't create accumulation. Actually, we did. That's why we have this all conditions, opportunity. So no, we have to create more. We have to create more accumulation merit. If you create more accumulation merit, what I share the teaching for you, whatever you study, teaching from me and practice, also more successful. We can also benefit us, benefit more other beings too. So that's also up to create accumulation merit. So we cannot say, oh, I have already good condition, accumulation merit, I have these teachings, I have already recognized my mind nature. No, I don't have to create accumulation merit. Then that is become obstacle again. So due to that, then you get also more obstacles, negative conditions again and again, so you can be lost. You cannot practice maintaining, like last night what I shared in the Dzogchen meditation, we talk about how to maintaining this in the meditation state and post-meditation, these two is bring together to maintaining all the time. Practice is never ever happening that, not possible, because if we don't create accumulation merit too. So even we have these conditions, positive accumulation merit, we have this opportunity, still we have to create accumulation merit. That's why Buddha said, if someone who don't create accumulation merit, not possible to recognize true empty nature. Furthermore, the ultimate co-emerging wisdom will only reveal itself as the result of having gathered the accumulation and purify obscurations. So this, furthermore, is see the automic co-emerging wisdom is our true nature ripa. We only river, it serves us the result of the having gathered accumulations and purify obscurations. So who has accumulation merit that recognize true own nature. And also that person can purify karma. If who don't have accumulation merit, they cannot recognize own nature, never ever possible. Not possible to purify negative karma too. Thus it is a creature to gather the accumulations. So that's why we have to create accumulation merit, very essential, important. Then while there are many methods for gathering the accumulations, the mandala offering is more supreme. So more supreme means like very special method. That's what we call uncommon preliminary practice. It's uncommon create accumulation merit. Tantra says, through offering entire blindfold universe adorned with various desirable gift to all the Buddhas in the pure realm, the wisdom of awakening is perfect. Thus be diligent in offering the mandala. So the point is this mandala offering is mentally create, cultivating meditation practice, not resting mind meditation practice. So we cultivating is we have to cultivate through offering the entire blame for the universe. So not only like front of a couple of Buddhas, we're offering. So we mentally offering is the entire bloom for the universe, and adorned with various desirable gifts to all the Buddhas in their pure realms. So many different objects. So all the desire objects, not only think about in this universe, in this world desire object. So many universal desire, special object is all mentally bring and offering to the Buddhas. So that's someone going to really giving to some others, never happening, never possible, right? Not possible. Even you stay in the one, state, example, you cannot give your state everything for someone. So you cannot give everything for, like your community things for everyone. So in this one, it means like you bring all the universals together and mentally offering to all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. So that's why it's mentally created, it's more powerful, also not affected to anyone. So you're going to offering flowers, you have to cut flowers. People go to cut flowers, buy flowers, and fruit or everything. So there many things affected to the environment. Physical thing offering always affected to something happening there. So we cannot say 100% is pure everything, because the fruit is maybe you pick up the fruit offering is belong to maybe other bugs food, other beings food. We're stealing from them too become. So that kind it's not everything belong to us. Physical thing offering is maybe this object is affected to the environment or affected to some other beings. So that's why in this mentally offering, mandala has more benefit, more power, is immeasurable. You can create immeasurable, not affected to anyone. So your mind is immeasurable. Your mind is the same as a space. So it's beyond you can think and you can go to bring the offering things in mentally creates. That's why it's more powerful. Then when you do this offering mandala, of course we need devotion. Without devotion, someone does this offering mandala things, looks like, it's someone who don't have really spiritual connections. They're seeing we are crazy. Really, you hold this mandala and then throw all the time rice top there, chanting something. That thing is no make sense for people who don't know the spiritual, who don't believe the cause and the effect. There no make sense for them, but they don't have that ability to recognize because they don't have enough accumulation merit. That's why they don't see the mandala offering is something special. Who has this accumulation merit, then that does mandala offerings, so they recognize its benefits. It's powerful because mentally create is more powerful the physical object. Then, long as you have a devotion, you does this mandala offerings, so it's create accumulation merit. Then if you go to like intellectual too much, also less benefit. Intellectual too much is okay. You hold this mandala in your hand, then the mandala is representative of universal. So they talk about the Momeru. They talk about other continents. So we all visualize this offering to the Buddhas mentally. But then you too much follow the intellectual thing, oh, this really Momeru exists or not. This Momeru is not exist because this world is like, like this. And not Momeru in the center, they're up all the way top. So, you follow too much intellectual and then you don't believe that, you don't want to do again this mandala offering. So that affected, you lose connect with this special accumulation merit. That's why Momeru exists or not, it's nothing important. Continents, subcontinents exist or not exist is nothing important, physically, or is you're mentally creating. So mentally doing this create offerings, you bring so many billion for the universe together mentally offering. So then you don't have to investigate this billion for the universe is exist or not, right? If you try to investigate, use intellectual, you cannot find any of these universes. So then you lose your special method. You cannot create accumulation merit. So that's why people who has strong devotion to the spiritual and they bring this mentally or this belief for universes, mentally offerings, they create accumulation merit is more powerful the physical things what we're doing. So that's you have to understand when we do the mandala offering. You cannot follow the intellectual investigation because it's a special method. And we have to trust, follow this spiritual beings. They've done this practice, then they create so much accumulation merit. Due to that, they benefit so many other beings. That is a fact, we recognize that clearly. They create different ways accumulation mandala, they create accumulation merit, different ways. They're not always the same case. There's some practitioners never always know how to this mandala create accumulation merit. Some so much focus doing this practice. So here says different ways you can create accumulation merit. Some, mentally doing this mandala offering, even you don't need to hold all these physical objects too. So who need this physical object for beginners? We need support something. We doing these things and we feel good, we recognize I'm doing something. if without this object supports, so your fear no right, you don't believe yourself, I'm drawing or not. So you have to create, believe yourself. Then you hold this mandala and put all these rice or stones, colorful stones, beans, use this and the top of the mandala, chant this mandala practice. That's, it's our support. Then you feel joy. It's like you're doing something yourself, you recognize. Because our beginner need support this, or this mandala. The mandala has all these designs about all these universes, many special objects. And up there I have see this mandala, and behind this like levels, and then different object, auspicious, seven royal, auspicious or something. So that kind of object mentally offering. This all is symbols in the mandala has. So we're offering this all together to, 3 times Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. So then also refuge tree, gurus, yadams, and dakas, dakinis, all is there, we're offering to, mentally offering to them. So that's, you have to understand, we need support object. Otherwise, your fear is, no connections. If you have like some levels, your practice realize, then without the support, everything is like you mentally can create accumulation merit using offering objects. Mandala offering where. So then we have to visualize. So what we have to visualize is go to the page 39. Visualize mandala offering. Before you appears Gare Vajradhara, the Lord who provides all Buddha's families. It's exactly same as post station and refuge tree. It's no difference. Only Vajrasattva go to different, other all same. So he is great on preaching of lotus and moons, a Trova jewel throne in the center of which granting tree that emerged from a lake. He is surrounded by the ocean lake, example of Kaju masters. In front is the Bhangavanchara Sambara, gathered with a host of Yadam, deities of the 4 or 6 class of Tantras. To his right are the Buddha of the 3 times, adorned with the major and minor marks, together with the 1,000 Buddhas of these excellent eons. Behind is great mother Panjaparimita and the discourses of the sutras and the tantras, which naturally resound the Dharma. To his left are the Bodhisattva protectors of the 3 families, surrounded by the example of the noble Bodhisattva, surrounding everything is on connect, host of outbound protectors, gather like billowing clouds. So that's the mandala. So now we go to, there is mandala offering visualization. So I already told you visualization. First, you bring this image, and then you can go directly to one, it's okay. Specifically, which one you have really connection, which Buddha. So you can visualize that, or 3 times Buddha is inseparable that. Then it's nothing different. So doesn't matter which lineage follows, doesn't matter which sadhana you're using, just which practice you're doing, your practice all bring one together all the time. So if you practice a Tara very strong all the time, so first you visualize this all refuge tree, then same time this Vajradhara is transformed to the Tara's form. Then it's all this mandala offering to the Tara mandala. It's Pema Sambhava, then you bring this Vajradhara is visualized, become Vajradhara is transformed to Pema Sambhava, and then practice all, Pema Sambhava's mandala offerings. So that's the, you can, change, visualize, you can be more connect with your own yadam, and which have you already connections. So then that helps become, you don't need to think about, oh, I wanted to do Tara, I want Pema Sambhava, I want Chinrezek or Manjushri. So you can use this method as you connect with your own Yadam deity. Next is page 40. So page 40 is the numbers. Number you can see. This is the follow. It's called 37 hips. That's called 37 hips. You have to, like, mandala is flat and like this, yeah. And the top there, you putting, you know, top here, you putting this all the hips. So now in the center is number 1. So is followed by the prayers. And then prayers are, you know, first one is in the center. Second is, see, number 2 is where? 2 is must be in the east. So always, east is like, see, you see the east is 2. The east is always your direction. Doesn't matter where you're facing, okay? So your direction is east. Your facing is west. Yeah, the mandala, when you hold, you have to think about that. Your left is always south. Your right is always north. So then this is the follow, see, is 4 directions, colors too. So east is pacifying, south is increasing, north is magnetizing, north is active, wrathful. So that's the usually we talk about 4 activities. But here, see, 1 and then go to the east, 2. Then 3 is go to south. 4 is west. 5 is north. So then after, what you have to do is 6 is, see, follow the southeast, 6. Then you have to go back and forth, like back and forth. Really funny way, you know, go up and jump back to again. See, 6 is put there and go back to again 7. Is 7 is east north. Then number 8 is south and west corner. So then again you follow by number, see, 9 and 8 and 9. So 8 and 9. Then number 10 must be in the, it's in the center, in the corner. It's the west north corner. Then back to again 11 is west and south corner. So this always follow the number is under 37. This very clearly. So you, when you chant this prayer, it's called 37 hips, we have to use. But then, and generally when you create accumulation merit, that time you have to do only 7. No need to do 37. 37 is only 1 section is morning. Maybe you can have 2 mandalas. If you have 2 mandalas, one is you do the morning, first one is do in this one, this mandala, and 37 hips. So you then create this all the rings and put up 37, then put in the shran. Then when you use another mandala, it's a flat, only 1 bottom one. You don't need in this the rings anything. So you have only this bottom one. So you hold the bottom one, then you have to do 7 hips. The 7 is first is to go to center, and then east, and then, you know, south, west, and north. Then go back to, you know, front of the center and behind of the center. So that's called 7 hips. 7. So 4 direction has a 4. The first is the center. See, then 4 directions, 5. So in the center, front 1 and behind 1. So that is 5, 6, 7 become. So the center is a representative of Mo Meru. Then 4 directions is 4 continents. Then you put in the front of the center is the sun, behind of the center is the moon. So sun and moon. That's the representative whole universal offering. So then that is like you chanting like you have to follow very fast. You have to chant the prayers and you remove and bring back to, your hand also moving, each direction is moving fast. So you can do first very slowly, like example, prayer is a Sajya picture, so you method Sajya picture, center and east, west, north, west and the north. Then, go back to front of center, behind of center. So it's a 7. Easy to do if you know how to do correctly. So here is the first. First is page 41 is followed by, I think, this 37. 37 is follow here. So that's English and the Tibetan. So English is 42. Om Varja Burma Ahom. So Om Benza Burma Ahom. Actually, Om Benza Burma. Om Benza is Varja Burma Ahom. The besides is perfectly pure, powerful guarding ground. Om Varjara Benza Pipe Ahom. So this Om Benza, actually Om Benza Rike Ahom. I see Om Benza Rike Ahom. Om Benza Rike Ahom. So when you chant the first part and this mandala, the ground, the flow, you have to put in the water with suffering, suffering water, put in the top and clean, and then the besides is a perfectly pure, powerful garden ground. Om Benza Reke Ahom means like you have to put some beings in the top of the it's a mandala, and you clean up this using these ones and clean the mandalas this way. If my hands, this is a mandala. If right hand, doing this is clean up. So that does that way, and people who create accumulation marry mandala. Then outer periphery is a range of Arun mountains. So they put the first range. At the center is a home. So that's number 1. From which arise Meru, the king of mountain. And east is a Purvavida, I think that is the number 2. In the south, Jambu Devapa. In the west, how to read Argudanaya, I think. In the north, it's hard to read this. I think it's a Sanskrit kind of one. North Uttarakuru. Beside them are Deha and Vedeha in the east. So Kemara and Aparaskamara, I don't know, in the south. Shata and Atamarina in the west. So that's always followed by the number. We have a number, and you can figure out how to follow this. But if you don't know this, it's also, not that important too. When we was in the monastery, we do this mandala offering. We don't know this long one. We only follow the short one. So chant these ones, and we created this rain one, is big one, and then put up. But we don't know all this follow details. And in the monastery, that time is a chant master must have to know these like directions, because sometimes we do the mandala in the monastery, only chant master hold the mandala. Then the chant master have to follow these all directions to doing, performing. But other mostly, most means many monks don't know, but still it's okay if you don't know. The point is like your intention and the visualization, your devotion, your effort. So that's most important. Then this, if you wanted to know everything, so you have to follow the number. When I get in the English and then explain, follow the numbers, I'm going to lost. Because I follow the Tibetan, you don't understand. So this is the problem with us here. So anyway, you can, figure out this one, 37 hips. It's very hard to read for me, everything. Anyway, you use this, read, and then follow by these numbers, and have to put all these directions and the ranks, one by one, put the ranks, also create a whole thing again. That's called 37 hips. No, next one. Next one. Okay, so this 37 hips is when we do sometimes like mandala offering to the teachers, mandala offering to the teacher, gurus, and then we chant this whole thing. You can follow the Tibetan with me, and you are page 42 example. Om benza buma ahong ye nambara taba wanjin serje sa ye. Om benza rike ahong se jare mujuje yongse korwe wisa hong reye jarpo rarab char limpapo lon zambeleng no balangju sang damni sharte ledan limpa lo ngayab dan ngayab yin nob de yoden dan lam Ngondro sang de damme nyin dan damme ninja da Rinpoche ye ro paksam je shen don jo ye ba ma me be lo do kholo Rinpoche Nora Rinpoche, Simo Rinpoche, Lombo Rinpoche, Lambo Rinpoche, Lamcho Rinpoche, Mapung Rinpoche, Terchenpo Ye Pompa, Bama, Tingwama, Lama, Karma, Medoma, Dupema, Nansarama, Trichama, Nyama, Dawa, Rinpoche ye do sole nambara jarwe jamsin wisa ladam maya pamjara penson soba masanwa me shinkam nambara taban denye lama yadan sanje sans pawon kandro chichong sumadan jeba namlam bawar jewo tojen rowe donde yisa yene sinje labde so. So chant that and create this mandala. If you don't have two mandala, it's also okay. When we did mandala offering, we don't have two mandalas. Very hard to get that time. So also very hard to get in these rain ones. When we did mandala, it's only we have a bottom one. So just mentally, does everything in the bottom one. And then go to create accumulation merit is in the next page. So that's I have to chant once every morning. Then when we do the mandala offering to the gurus, also use that prayer. Some monastery create all this, what we chant is different, directions that create everything. So example, auspicious, like 7 royal families. Example, see in this kind of the elephant and horse, yeah. So they create these ones in the top of the mandala. It's really, really big mandala. What the 7 different heads, they have all these directions they put top of the mandala. So that's the we mentally doing practice. This is already created physically. Mentally we offering, horse, elephant. So that kind of, special animal. And this is the also horse and elephant usually representative is bodhichittas. Someone, strong and carry other beings in the shoulder, like strong, big response for samsaric beings. And that's why this beings like, representative. So actually bodhisattvas qualities, representative offerings. Then go to page 44. It's the main prayer mandala, I think. So okay, so here go to the page 44. So this is the we have to create mentally how to think about when we offerings. Imagining limitless universes with limitless worlds of 4 continents and offering it all together with the abundance of organic infinite realms. So we bring mentally, see, everything, all these 4 continents and many universes, many special objects, everything, abundance of organic infinite realms. I supplicate you, please behold all beings with compassion. So we supplication to this offering to the object of mandala. Object of mandala is spiritual beings who has noble quality, spiritual quality. We offering to them. So this point is, every spiritual beings included who has a spiritual quality, or the beings is object of mandala, offering object. So when we offering is, please behold all beings with compassion, as I'm offering my body, enjoyment, and possessions, my aggregates, elements, and sense sources of the present and in future times to come. So we're offering to our own body and everything, whatever we own, mentally offering. And everything else are own and we're own in the future. Right now we own or we're going to own the future. Please bless me to pacify self-grasping. So offering is all create accumulation, merit, then same time introduced to our self-grasping. As I am offering the spirit mandala that is completely free from all limit limitations of being either substantial or insubstantial. So you can bring mentally physical objects or non-physical. So you use the mandala as a physical object, but you can use like mentally all these universes, billion universes you cannot hold, no exist physically. You have to bring in your mind. Either substantial or insubstantial. The mandala that is the natural state transcending or inflaming and negating names and marks of arising, ceasing and dwelling, coming and going, please bless me to attain awakening. So then the end of this prayer, so we supplication to the spiritual beings, please help, reduce my self-grasping, purify my negative karma and self-grasping. Then also ask the help recognize true nature. So recognize true nature is the mandala, that is the nature state. See, transcending or affirming and negating names and marks means everything's emptiness. It's going to the dharmakaya of arising, ceasing and dwelling. No coming, no going, no ceasing. It's all is same one nature state. Coming and going, please bless me to attain awakening means realize true nature, realize dharmakaya. So that's the supplication. Two result is two benefit. First, reduce our self-grasping and purify self-grasping, realize our own true nature. So that's we supplication to the gurus, yadams, and all the spiritual beings. Then we have to count this create accumulation merit. So this is the most important we have to know. This we have to do all the time. See, number 1 is the center, number 2 is east, 3 is south, 4 is west, 5 is north. Then here is see 6 and 7. So this representative sun and moon, 6 and 7 is. The number 1 is representative moon Meru. The other four is 4 directions, 4 continents. So in this sun and moon is usually slightly, different. I saw many mandalas. Sometimes this sun and moon is the east is number 1 front there, usually number 6, and then behind is number 7. So sun and moon. This one is sun is southwest, and moon is northeast. I think I say correctly English. So that's the we visualize. And then when you first hold the mandala, first one you put in the number 1 in the center, then go to east means your heart area. When you hold the mandala, that is east. Then south is your left, north is your front. So west is your front, north is your right. Then number 6, west and south. Number 7 is north and east. Then you have to pour back to again, and then you bring back again. You have to put. So that's you have to chant and follow very fast, moving. So you have to throw. You first, of course, you practice. You put in the, where is this camera goes? Put in the center, and then east, then south, then north, and then here, and then sun and moon, then you draw. So when you chant fast, Just you have to move fast. Some just like kind of like one hit go throw everywhere around. You know, it's depending the people who chant. You go slow is actually good. You know, we do very fast, and if you go slowly, then it's more. I mean, more meaningful. You have to mentally more, you know, visualize. Even your number is hard to finish, but you're going slowly, correctly one. When we chant 100 times, your one is equal. So if then you have visualized, meditate, your mind is really into the nature, your one and my 1,000 is 100,000 is equal actually. So that's the up to the, you know, the true benefit, not the number. But we in the monastery we have to follow the number because we wanted to finish it. Otherwise, oh, they tell you, do you finish your mandala? We cannot say, oh, I didn't finish. So they require to do that. So when we was young, we do very fast. So chance like one day is 4,000, 5,000, some that kind of, you know, create accumulation, chanting prayers. And 20 days, like 22nd, 3rd, 4th days, then finish the whole thing, 100,000 times. But I know that it's finished the number, but not that kind of correctly done, you know, powerfully great way. Because if you don't need to show the number for someone, if you really wanted to do correctly, meaningfully, and just slowly and mentally visualize correctly do one, there, so I told you I do 100, your one is equal. Then we shared so many Mahamudra teachings, so you really into your nature. First, of course, you have to visualize everything mentally, and then you really into your nature, doing absolute true mandala. So one mandala is 100,000. Relative chanting is equal. So then, this is the you have to create accumulation in this prayer. When Garchen Rinpoche create this mandala accumulation is he focus for this mandala is for, you know, directly antidote to our self-grasping. So that's why you see it's a little different than usually we chant the mandala prayer in the before when I share the teaching. Many traditions does that. When we before I share the teaching, they have 2 mandala offerings. Opening prayer we chant every day when you before the teaching. They have 2 different levels. First one is very common, all these lineages chant. In the second section, there is a Digong Aten Yanzap is a special prayer, has this mandala offering. In this, you know, when we share the teaching before opening prayer, there has 2 mandalas. In this one, it's actually same, but it's different as the creed. So, no, in this case, we have to chant this prayer. The limitless 3rd order 1,000 for the universe. So that's the way offering, going to mentally. Things owned and not owned. So we owned our things, visualize, offering, even we not owned. So you can mentally, you know, think about, I'm living in US, so I think, okay, all this united everything. I'm going to offering cities like forests, trees, mountains, everything, groceries, you know, so many, right? And mentally what I think is great, so bring that in mind. Then I go bigger, it's like, oh, go to other country, or then go to whole these countries in this world. So even I don't own, so mentally bring this all in my mind and offering. And unowned. My own body enjoyment. So then especially our own body is always with really strong fixation attached to our own body. That's why we think about, oh, this body is no longer to belong to me. No, it's belong to the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas. We're offering own body. So that's also good to subduing our matter of form body or the afflictive emotion based on our matter of form body. So subduing matter of form body is mentally offering to our body enjoyments and everything I have. So then you think my house, my relatives, friends, or my car and my being, or everything, whatever you have, and the mentally offerings. So that's really helps. I think when we, have this object, but usually we attach to this object we owned, causes of suffering. But you mentally use this, whatever you have, is offering, it really helps create accumulation merit because it's a special method using. Then I freely offer to the ocean of jewels. May the self-grasping of all beings be purified. So this offering of to the Buddha Dharma Sangha, then we wishing strong aspiration is all sentient beings, may the self-grasping of all beings be purified. So we have to think that very strongly. Also, we purify our self-grasping. This mandala offering is also purifying all these self-graspings, other beings. All the causes of suffering is self-grasping. So long as we have self-grasping, we create our own problems. Due to that, create others' problem too. And that's the whole world and the samsaric beings. Our problem is, in this world problem, whole thing is due to self-grasping. These countries fighting each other and also due to self-grasping. So otherwise, everyone can be stay in this, especially human beings, joy and happily in this planet. But due to self-grasping, is never going to finish this. Samsaric human beings create suffering each other, never going to finish. Because due to self-grasping, the root is self-grasping. Then our just generally think whole world is a problem is self-grasping. Specifically, our own problem also come from root is self-grasping. So then when we do the mandala, this is the important one there. May the self-grasping of all beings be purified. So we also think about our loved ones, and doesn't matter our loved ones somewhere pass away or alive. This only use like you doing mentally create chanting the benefit to them too. We can help them too. May they be endowed with Bodhichitta. So then we wishing they have a Bodhichitta. Endowed with Bodhichitta, and may all attain the spirit states of awakening together. So we know left behind our even heat-treated ones, enemies too. Usually we easy to chant Bodhichitta prayer, but we really hit someone, and no one really don't want to help that person. We're wishing that person gets suffering. So here is a thing about may the self-grasping is we spring of all beings be purified. So we have to really focus our heat-treated one person. Who's the negative person in the world. You have to bring that person. So then self-grasping all beings be purified. That person's self-grasping is purified. So the point we wishing that person have a happiness, causes of happiness, but that's very hard to really meditate, create. If you can say some easy, but very hard to bring, because we see the someone due to self-grasping, harming so many other beings. We know we don't want that person have happy and joy. So that means bodhicitta is still not arise in the mind, our mind. So we can test ourselves, you really have a bodhicitta or not. Someone humming hold this word, create so much negative karma, and you wishing that person free from grasping, pacify, you truly wishing that or no? It's very hard, right? And we wishing that their suffering is die, create something happening for that karma, but very hard to wishing they have happiness. Because may the self-grasping of all beings be pacified means we really truly wishing that person have a happiness. This is the causes of suffering. So we wishing free from causes of suffering. We really wishing they have true happiness. That's the only Bodhisattva can do. So that's what we have to practice when we chant this mandala offering. May they be endowed with the bodhicitta. So see, we wishing the bodhicitta. And may all attain, then we also wishing that person attain supreme state of awakening together with us, enlightened. So who has the intention is called bodhisattva. And then you have bodhicitta and you chant this prayer using this method is introduced to our self-grasping and also benefit for others. So that's why true bodhicitta is very hard to arise in our mind. We can chant the prayer, bodhicitta prayers, very easy. So if you really can, wishing someone create suffering for us, create suffering for others, wishing that person have causes of happiness, it's strongly in your mind, then that is bodhicitta arise in your mind. That is introduced to our self-grasping. Kind of like this bodhicitta, same as the sun arising in our mind. The darkness, self-grasping is purifying. So we have to use these negative conditions, create our bodhicitta. So then that is true, actually absolute truth mandala offering. Yeah, that is really benefit for us, really purify our negative karma and self-grasping. But very hard to happen that kind of, bodhicitta create in our mind, because due to also our self-grasping emotions, someone really hurt in the whole world, some create so much causes negative, we really hard to wishing that person is happy and joy. Yeah, free from this, grasping. The bodhicitta have the intentions. So that's why they can enlighten using this negative condition, negative samsara condition, using that condition enlightened. So it's a special method. That is absolute truth. Mandala offering. So then that's we have to create, see, lots chanting. So you can chant. English is most effective because you understand the meaning. So then you chant, example, so I have to chant very fast, otherwise cannot finish 100,000 times. And if you just don't want to follow the number, you want to follow your own way and really meaningfully, then you can just stay in the 1 month retreat. That during this practice is no need to think about the number, and then really put your effort. Is I think better than counting the number. But for a beginner who has distractions, the number counting really helps put you in the effort. So that's always a dependent individual. Then go to the page 48. This one you also some chant this one. I like to pick up this one to create accumulation because more or less than the number you know the what we did in the page 47. This 47 is two sentences longer than in this one. So this is the shortest one. It's this we usually use a lot, and our opening prayer also have this one. To all the gurus who have perfect the three kayas, I make outer, inner, secret, and suchness offering with my body, word and all that is visible. Please accept this offering and grant the unsurpassed supreme attainment. You can create this one is accumulation merit. So it's all up to you. Garchen Rinpoche put the first one is the create accumulation merit. Usually we create this one. So he giving two options, two choices. I can see that. You know which one you wanted to follow. Then after that is dissolution. In the end, the affairs of accumulation gathers into yourself. The natural state of the one who offer the recipients and all acts of offering by natural transcends all names and characteristics rest briefly within the outer state of Mahamudra, the ultimate Mandala. So then you finish it and meditate in the natural mind, you know. So the point is here, when you create accumulation merit chanting, which one you pick up, you can mentally, you know, all this universe, everything is offering. You know, visualize this refuge tree. And then you don't have to do all the time that, right? Sometimes you look to your mind, nature, and the chanting. That's more powerful, yeah? And then sometimes like you visualize all this universal and the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, and then you think about my body, my outer body, inner, secret, everything is offering to the Buddhas. So outer level is in think about this body, outer level offering. Inner level is your drops, wing, and that is inner level. And then secret level is your mind nature. So that's the offering to the Buddhas. Or you think body, speech, mind. Outer is body, inner is speech, and secret is your mind, offering to the Buddhas. So you can just think about this, you know, mentally create thinking about this offering to the Buddhas. Some prayer you focus that way. Sometimes you go into your nature, Mahamudra state, chanting. And then sometimes you visualize the whole this universal and you know, then everything, desire, object, offerings, and whatever you belong to yourself or even if it not belong to us, everything is offering mentally. So you have to go back and forth and just minds be all this different wrong. I think meditate, visualize, doing practice. So that's a good way to do. Otherwise, very hard to focus one. And then also here is mentioned about so many things. You cannot bring everything one time. We have only one mind, one consciousness. We cannot bring same time everything together. So next, then I think finish mandala offering. Okay, no, do you have any questions? Laming has a question. So you can raise the hand or you speak up.
Rinpoche, I have a question.
Kempula,
Yes.
when you are talking about the Bodhichitta, if someone is really bad and it's really difficult to accumulate that kind of kindness and wishing the person well, and I found out the process of trying to meditate on my abusive father, and then I found out that the deep understanding of why he became him and how much suffering he had as a child and how he was living for hell in all his life, and his wishing is just to be happy and want other people to love him, but because the way he did it just make everyone angry with him. So he's extremely smart, like a genius. But on the other hand, he's extremely stupid and very ignorant because he didn't understand cause and effect. And from that kind of observation and understanding, it's easier for me to accumulate loving God kindness and feel very sorry for him and try to meditate on wishing him happy and wishing him right. Is it correct way to do it?
Yes, yes.
Okay, thank you.
And so many people, because due to the negative karma, not enough accumulation merit. That's why whatever they do harm for others. And
yeah, because most of them are very ignorant.
You be with them and no peace, no joy, and you close to be with that is more great, no happy feelings. That means the person didn't have accumulation. Mary is correct enough. Even they want happy. Okay, so next then is Bob. Yeah, please, Bob first.
Yes, thank you, Rinpoche. In some traditions, when they do the Ngondro, they do the Refuge and Bodhichitta, all the 100,000 of them before they move to the next step. Or can we do all of these in one continuous prayer each day, as many of each one as we go along?
That's it's up to us actually. And someone who join in the monastery, we have to finish one first, and if move to the next one. If you do every day, let it be each one. There's nothing wrong. Yeah.
Thank you.
So, yeah, all is correct, but it's you really wanted to finish focusing one by one, then you have to do one first and go then after move to the next. But you just wanted to do all the practice together in the one day, so that's also okay. Thanks, Danny. Can you unmute? Yes.
Kempala, this is new to me. When you're building the mandala, what are you actually using? And do the colors just represent something in your mind, or do you use actual colors in the mandala?
Oh, they create a color, but the colors are nothing important. That because that's a representative, the direction has a different colors associated with. And when you do the mandala, we just hold the mandala. It's, I don't know, I didn't have it here. This is the bottom one, holding in the hand. So you saying this different hips and directions, follow the number.
But what do you put in it? Is it rice? Is it sand? What do you actually use?
So people use rice or rice with other beans together. Then some people put rice with also, your ornament of jewelries, like something like corals with turquoise, and this kind of like nice, special, this stones together, and they use together. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much.
Put in the goals, whatever you have, or it's up to individual. Yes. And the cat is Crester. I see Crester.
Hi, thank you, Rinpoche. I have a question regarding page 42. When we recite the mantra, do we say at the beginning Om Benza or Om Vajra?
Oh, Tibet is called Om Benza. Sanskrit usually Om Vajra. So either ways, I think it's okay.
Okay, thank you.
Same meaning.
Thank you.
Yeah. So Norma.
Hello, Kempo. Thank you very much. My question is there a difference in the mandala offering doing the practice like this or doing the mandala offering mudra? Is it the same?
If we don't have this mandala, this object, then we're doing this hang.
Okay.
So hang is like example in the many monastery, in the many monks, like practice together with mostly doing this way. So only one of the Chan master hold this mandala doing.
Okay.
And when we do the accumulation, Mary, so in this Ngondro, so we need this mandala. It is the first one. Yeah.
Okay.
If you don't have that, you can create something.
Okay.
Yeah. So the used to this masters are very hard to get. That because they're giving up all the worldly activities, they cannot afford, and they don't have money to buy anything. So then they use like clairvoyant, they use stones, whatever they found something beautiful stones they use.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you.
You're welcome, Malisa.
Boshila, because I haven't done preliminary practice, and because I have gurus in different lineages, can I visualize just Vajradhara representing all my gurus and just a general sense of all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas without attention to a particular lineage, or how should I approach that?
That's actually a thing I share many times already talked, is you can follow which one you have a strong connections. Vajradhara is can transform to Guru, Yadams, whatever you need to have connections.
Excuse me, but I meant, what about the rest of the refuge tree?
Rest refuge tree, you if you can bring in your mind, then just bring in the mind. If it's very hard, only just one. Yeah, it's not easy for you can bring everything in your mind. So first, when we're beginning, use that whole refuge tree. And then the center one is you can visualize Pema Sambhava, Tara, or Yet Guru, and then everyone is there together. So that's the thing about it.
Okay, thank you.
Actually, I've explained lots, try to purify or how to say this kind of thoughts. And you can listen again. I think I talked a lot about it for beginning and also yet today too.
Yes, I heard you regarding that. I think the issue for me is that
you needed to think about the lineages and my guru, my yadam. You don't have to think about that. You can bring these practices for everything.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Patricia.
Good morning, Kempo. How are you? Thank you for these teachings. In my family, we have very bad circumstances. Some family has been committed suicide, and my father has been murdered. So, is there this practice can benefit the family generation?
Yeah, it's benefit all mother sentient beings.
Okay.
Yeah, they included all our family generations.
Okay.
Yeah, the family generation also actually, you know, is our delusion dreaming kind of same. And so we think, oh, this is my family generation, but next life is we have another generations.
Okay. Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then that generation is go to another way. So they always become people, beings is different. So
And
who has a karma, kind of like, you know, that kind of connections. So they're reborn to that generation.
okay. And
Yeah.
but it helped them.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, so I think we finish here. Questions.
Bob raised his hand again.
Oh,
Sorry, one more. If someone has physical limitations, are there alternatives we can do to complete the 100,000 full prostrations?
that's, you know, we cannot say, oh, you don't have to do, and harder to give permission, right? Say, oh, you don't have to do. Also, someone did harder to do that. No one can say you must do 100 times, right? 100,000 times, because every time you have to look to our situation, its ability or not. Yeah. So if you don't have the, you know, physically to 100,000 times, you have always another option is mentally, and the chanting refuge prayer, same time you mentally doing postations. So then done together. That's it. Okay, so now we're going to do then dedication. So dedication is skip this guru yoga. We can skip that section too. So go to the page 66. Emaho, marvelous, in the center is the Buddha Amitabha, boundless light. To his right is Chenrezig, the Lord of great compassion, and to his left is the Bodhichitta Vajrapane, the Lord of great power. They are surrounded by an inconceivable example of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, extraordinary limitless peace and happiness. This is the Buddha field called blessed and dawned. When and all beings pass from this life, may we be born there unhindered by another samsaric birth. Once born there, may we behold the face of the Buddha Amitabha, boundless light. By the power of all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas of the 10 directions, bless me that I may attain this aspiration without hindrance. Tiyata, Pinsandriya, Ava Bodhanaya, Soha. May Bodhichitta, the excellent and the precious mind, arise where it has not been. Where it has arising, may it not decline, but ever increase higher and higher. By this virtue may I achieve the all-knowing state, and by defeating all enemies, confusion, the cause of suffering, may all who traverse on the waves of birth, old age, sickness, and death cross the ocean of samsara. In order to train just like the more hero Manjushri who knows the reality as it is, And just like Samantha Bada as well, completely dedicate all the goodness, just as they did, by the blessing of the Buddha who attained the three kayas, by the blessing of the true of unchanging, changeless nature, by the blessing of the indivisible example of the Sangha, may these prayers be accomplished as I have dedicated. By this virtue accumulation of the three times of my seven all beings in samsara and nirvana, and by this rule of virtue, may I and all sentient beings safely attain unsurpassed, perfect, complete, precious enlightenment. In this pure realm, surrounded by snow mountains, you are the source of our benefit and happiness without exception. O powerful Avalokiteshvara, Tenzin Jamso, may you stay firmly until the end of samsara. You are the embodiment of all the precious ones. You are great being, are the hold and promoter of the teachings of the Shakya line. Your perfect actions are for the liberation of sentient beings. May you, the Jetsin Lama, whose enlightening activity are spontaneously present living long. Precious holder of the Tepe gem of the Trigompa, who perceive the indisputable, practice of the profound Dharma, who has realized the sublime true which reward peace and elimination. May you who relieve the suffering of limitless beings living long. The one known in the Holy Lands, Arya Deva, emanate into the gargling of Eastern Tibet as Chidempa, the heart sound of Jigten Songgo. May the life of glory Garchen remain satisfied for us hundreds years. In this age of satisfied, weighing the victor's teaching, fares hardship through his power, Vajra like displaying and vows. He takes on himself the heavy responsibility of the unbeseeching teachings. May Garchen the sound of the teaching living long. Yeah, so we can finish it there. Yeah, Ngondro sadhana create so many extras again. When the first comes, not that long. After create the book, and then they put so many extras again. Okay, thanks very much, everyone.
Khenpo, are we canceling tomorrow?